Things just took a sickening turn for the Colorado Avalanche as a marquee player in their top six who has helped them in their immense success so far this year went down with a gruesome injury in just their third regulation loss of the regular season. And considering that this injury may be serious and it may cause the specific player to be out long term, it could pose very negative implications for the Colorado Avalanche. And it's very concerning considering the specific player's status and his injury history. He has returned after a brutal knee injury over the last few years, playing in his first regular season since the last 2022 Stanley Cup championship. And seeing him go down with a brutal injury is very concerning for the Colorado Avalanche. And we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about all the implications and everything that we need to know about this injury for our captain, Gabe Landeskog, right here today on Avalanche Digest. Welcome into the channel, everybody. Mark Robinson here. Happy to be breaking down all things Colorado Avalanche hockey with each and every one of you lovely listeners. I hope that my absence from the channel wasn't felt too strongly. I was on a wonderful vacation, taking some time away from work with my family. Thank you so much to Darius Dominguez, an amazing piece of Digest Media who's covering and filling in to make sure that the production, make sure that all the content was staying at a steady level. But nevertheless, I am back better than ever, had a wonderful vacation, and I'm ready to get rocking and rolling and keep all of you guys covered on Colorado Avalanche hockey throughout the remainder of the season. Before we dive into today's video, I do want to remind you guys really quickly to make sure that you're subscribed to Avalanche Digest. If you're not part of that 71.3% that's watching our videos every single day, but not subscribed to the channel, make sure you get that changed right now. It takes 5 seconds. It's completely free. You can join the fastest growing source for Colorado Avalanche news and updates. You can join the Avs Digest family. There's 2,183 of us in this family, and we would absolutely love to have you as well. So if you're part of that 71%, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you're watching our videos every single day, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button. Join the fastest growing source for Colorado Avalanche news and updates. Before we dive into today's video, we also have a quick message from one of our brand new sponsors here at Digest Media. Before we get into all the news today for the Colorado Avalanche, I want to remind you that this video is brought to you by Kalshi. Kalshi is the largest prediction market currently live in the United States, and on their platform, you can trade yes or no on real-life events, sports, elections, or any other event you can possibly think of. If you're in California, Texas, or Colorado, or anywhere across the country, Kalshi's live in all 50 states. For sports fans, you can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out any time. And for Colorado Avalanche fans, you can trade on something like the odds to win the Stanley Cup championship. The Avs are currently favored to win the Stanley Cup on Kalshi, so you can head over there right now and you can trade on the Avs to win the Stanley Cup championship, along with so many other hockey props that you can trade on right now on Kalshi. It's a smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. Download Kalshi now with the link in the description and use code DIGESTNHL to get $20 when you trade 100 on Kalshi. Big thank you to Kalshi for those quick messages. And now, without further ado, let's dive into this Gabe Landeskog gruesome injury that could be a very negative reality for the Avs looking forward. So, according to Jesse Montano from Guerrilla Sports, an upper body injury for Gabe Landeskog against the Florida Panthers yesterday, in which the Avs suffered just their third regulation loss of the season. They continue to be by far the best team in the National Hockey League, but a blow like this could pose a negative result for the Avs looking into the future. Additionally, on a personal level as well, Landeskog just recently named to Team Sweden for the Olympics. May not get to see him playing in the Olympics representing his country anymore either, which is a brutal blow. We're going to take a quick look at this injury. So you see him skating into the offensive zone on the breakaway. He gets down, falls onto his knee, and slams into the left goalpost. And you can see right there, he's in a very large amount of discomfort, catches an edge, falls over onto, luckily, not his bad knee, not the knee that he had hurt a few years ago, but still catches an edge, falls over. You see it again right here, trips over, falls onto that left knee, and slams right into the post. Just an absolutely brutal injury for Gabe Landeskog. You see it one more time right here, falls over onto that left knee, slams into the post, and he had to get helped off of the ice, which was a very tough sight to see, just considering everything this player has been through. Any Avs fan knows that Landeskog has been through one of the most crazy roller coasters of an injury. He had that injury in which the skate of Cale Makar cut that cartilage out of his knee. He had to have multiple surgeries. He missed over 1,000 games. He hadn't played in over 2 years since that, or over 3 years, since that Stanley Cup championship run where they won in 2022. He made his return in the first round of the playoffs last year, and he's been such a marquee piece to our lineup this year. So not having him in the lineup for the foreseeable future, it could be a brutal blow for the Avs. Not necessarily because of the production that we've seen from him so far this year, but just from how much it means to have him in the locker room, dressing, skating, playing in the top 6 or in the bottom 6, wherever he's slotted into the lineup per Jared Bednar. It's a brutal blow for the Avs. It could pose a lot of negative implications looking forward. So Jared Bednar, after the game, said in the conference that Landeskog will miss some time with an upper body injury. So I would say the silver lining here, the best takeaway from all this, is it is an upper body injury. It seems like that left knee that he fell on isn't the issue here, and thank God that he didn't fall on his right knee, because that would be a whole nother story. I think that was everybody's biggest concern, was did he re-injure that knee that took him so long to rehabilitate and to get back to full strength? I think that was everybody's biggest concern. So that's, I guess, the silver lining, the optimistic view, if you will. But either way, went out with an upper body injury. And I mean, you saw it in the intro video. He was being helped out pretty significantly. I would guess he broke some ribs or something along those lines, but still really tough to see a guy that's so tough like Gabe Landeskog go out with such a brutal injury. Wanted to take just one more quick look at this angle. So he's being covered as he's rushing in on the breakaway into the offensive zone, catches an edge, falls over, and then he hits that left knee on the ground. I'm sure that didn't feel amazing, but like I said, the silver lining is it wasn't that bad knee. And then he skates right into the left goalpost. That, I think, is where he sustained that upper body injury. Like I said, I'm guessing it's something in the chest, torso area, and probably a rib-related injury. So as of now, there's no timeline as to how long he'll be out, what happened, what the deal is, how long we'll see him out. But I think the biggest takeaway and the biggest positive from all this, I know it's weird and doesn't seem right to take positives away from seeing our captain go down, but he didn't hurt that originally hurt knee, and something with an upper body injury that's potentially a bone break or just a bruise, rather than ligaments being broken or anything like that. That takes a little bit less time to heal, so we may not be seeing him out of the lineup for too long. But I wanted to put this quote up here as well. I think it speaks to the intensity of this injury and just how much it matters for the Colorado Avalanche. It's definitely scary to see a guy hurt because he's a guy like that get hurt because he is so tough. That is Nathan MacKinnon, the team leader in basically every stat you could possibly imagine, speaking on his captain, Gabriel Landeskog. And you know how close these two are. You know how much they rely on one another to help each other elevate their games. And to hear MacKinnon say something like that, it's scary to see a guy hurt like that because he's so tough. It's notable coming from MacKinnon, and it's concerning because we know MacKinnon's tough, and we know that MacKinnon knows how tough Gabe Landeskog is, and seeing the way that he had to get helped off the ice and just seeing how much pain he was in, it's definitely concerning, and it poses some interesting implications for the future of the Avs. And then an interesting note here as well that I think once again just speaks to the level of this injury and how much it is affecting everybody around the league, not just the Colorado Avalanche. But apparently Nathan MacKinnon told some reporters in Florida that several Florida Panthers players were concerned, asking for updates on Gabriel Landeskog, wondering if it was his knee. When he came back and he played in those few games of the Stars series in the first round of the playoffs, it's no secret that everybody in the league had a smile on their face and was silently applauding from afar that he made one of the most insane comebacks in sports history, let alone hockey history. He had to nurse that knee injury for so long. Everybody doubted that his career was even going to resume, and to see him come back, to see him get through all that adversity was very meaningful. So to see him go down again, especially initially falling over onto one of his knees, very concerning. And I think the fact that the Florida Panthers players were so concerned and curious about what's going on, that's just a niche example of how everybody in the league is feeling the negativity of seeing a guy like Gabriel Landeskog go down and get hurt. So the extent of what we know right now, obviously, just an upper body injury. We see him ram into the post with his ribs. That's as much as we know. We're obviously going to keep you updated as more info unfolds with the Gabe Landeskog injury once he's evaluated by doctors, once we know what the deal is. But for now, wanted to take a look at the lines and talk a little bit about what things are going to look like without a Gabriel Landeskog in our lineup. So yesterday against the Florida Panthers, initially was slotted into the top 6. Nathan MacKinnon and Necas on that first line. So I'm guessing SICKENING slides up to the top left spot as usual. That's been a pretty common theme for the majority of the season. So that line doesn't get affected too much. Nathan MacKinnon and Necas in that first line. And then I'm guessing we go back to a Ross Colton, Brock Nelson, Val Nichushkin line. So Ross Colton slides up to that second line, Roscoe, Nelson, and Nichushkin, and then Drury, Olofsson, and Gavin Brindley potentially in that third line. And then with Parker Kelly and Zakhar Bardakov, I'm guessing we see somebody from the Colorado Eagles get recalled and sent up to help fill the gaps of the bottom 6 and in that fourth line. Something else we could potentially see, which I would not mind this at all, Gavin Brindley, depending on what his injury status is and how he's doing, if he's able to play, could see him get slid into a top 6 role again. It's already happened once, and he's proved that he's capable of doing so. Gavin Brindley may get slotted up into a top 6 role, potentially playing to the left of Nelson and Nichushkin. And then one more quick little note as well for defense. Devon Toews is going to miss some time as well. He sustained an injury recently. He's also on the Team Canada roster. He's also expecting a baby right when the Olympics start. So I'm not really sure what his status is with the Olympics, but that's obviously now affected by his injury, and he'll miss some time as well. So this is a little bit of what our D looks like with Toews out for the foreseeable future. Girard and Makar, Manson and Burns, and Solivyov and Sam Malinsky. I don't hate these D pairings. Obviously, it's brutal to not have Devon Toews because Makar and Toews is no doubt the best D pairing in the National Hockey League. But we have a lot of depth in this position. We can fill those gaps, and I don't think there will be too much of a skill drop-off, if you will, with these injuries. Nevertheless, we'll be keeping you updated on all things Gabe Landeskog, whatever his injury may be, and we will make sure you are all in the loop with whatever the update is. But in the meantime, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're giving us all the support that you can. We appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. And in the meantime, we'll talk to you soon. Go Avs.